We got a little bit more poetry for you guys before we give it back for the second round. Two more. This one is an ode to my favorite author. This is called Kurt Vonnegut, a love poem. Kurt Vonnegut smoked unfiltered Pall Mall cigarettes daily and called it a classy way to commit suicide. I like to believe that he knew what he was talking about. You see, a lot of people, when they talk about death, they like to pretend like they know what they're talking about. Kurt Vonnegut wasn't one of them. In 1944, Kurt Vonnegut was sent to Dresden, Germany, along with millions of boys of his generation to fight the one war worth dying for. He watched as hundreds of kids fell as sacrifices to the great God of US&A. Meanwhile, 1,000 miles away in that same year on Mother's Day, Kurt Vonnegut's mother used a fistful of sleeping pills to make herself sacrifice to the one God Kurt would never believe in. When Kurt Vonnegut talked about death, you know what he was talking about. In that same city, after Uncle Sam got done liberating the shit out of Germany, Kurt Vonnegut was among the POWs to have the charming jobs of digging through rubble and debris to search for charred, broken husks of Dresden citizens and watch as German troopers, unaware of what to do with the sheer volume of corpses, mounted dragons on their backs to turn their countrymen into campfire ashes. When Kurt Vonnegut talked about death, he knew what he was talking about. Kurt Vonnegut smoked unfiltered Pall Mall cigarettes daily, but he never got the chance to wither away due to cancer like the one that killed his sister. And he never got the chance to die on train tracks like his brother-in-law just a few hours afterwards. Instead, Kurt Vonnegut got to raise children that were not his own, millions of them across the country, to become free thinkers. Instead, Kurt Vonnegut raised the bar for what is defined as modern American literature. Instead, Kurt Vonnegut opened up the very first Saab dealership on North American shores. Damn it, if this last point seems devoid of consequence, that's totally because it is. Anybody who drives a Saab will tell you that he is romanticize about Saabs. Instead, Kurt Vonnegut was one of those people who fall to their death, only to discover that sometimes dying can take a little while. Other so-called artistic geniuses wrote about death in terms of shallow metaphors, wilting flowers, old yellers. Kurt Vonnegut wrote about death in terms of the one thing that really mattered, in terms of people, in terms of interaction. Kurt Vonnegut smoked unfiltered Pall Mall cigarettes daily. God damn, what I wouldn't give to hear those words between classy and suicide. That unfiltered smoke wrapping around my ears, giving that timeless phrase, that almost tangible form. Kurt Vonnegut holds the shortest record as a writer at Sports Illustrated. It's true. When asked to write a story about a horse who jumped over Kentucky Derby stables, it took him 3 hours to write in true poetic simplicity. The horse jumped over the fucking fence. When Kurt Vonnegut talked about horses, he knew what he was talking about. Now, I know this seems a little bit obsessive, but anybody who's grown up among his slim volumes knows that between the allegories of space machines and aliens are scraps of genius. In between the time machines and death are words that stick with you. For me, it was Breakfast of Champion, Harper's Publishing, 1974, page 117, paragraphs 4 through 8. This is a terrible story you're writing, you know. I know. You're afraid you're going to kill yourself like your mother, you know. I know. Kurt Vonnegut smoked unfiltered Pall Mall cigarettes daily. When he talked about death, be damned if he didn't know what he was talking about.